Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. If you want to learn how to fight heart disease and stroke, stay tuned as we talk about the American Heart Association's upcoming Heart Walk, October 19th at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. Today we're in Conway, South Carolina. We're at Coastal Carolina University, and we're visiting on campus at the E. Craig Walls School of Business. Today we're with Hilda Merritt-Carter. Hilda, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for asking me.
What a great morning. Hilda, you were on yesterday. You were able to talk about activities with the Horseback Ride-a-thon that's coming up on November 16th out at Lakewood Campground.
Yes.
Obviously, much of this week has been focused on the October 19th Heart Walk, which is coming up to benefit the American Heart Association's Waccamaw division. Your activities with the Heart Association go back a long way, either with direct involvement with the Heart Association or just battling heart disease and stroke. Can you tell the viewers a little bit if you've been involved with heart disease or stroke personally?
Yes. Myself, I've had 6 strokes, and of course it's hereditary with me because of my diabetes. But diabetes and heart trouble and strokes go hand in hand. And the thing that I've thought through the years, because of being part of it, I have, in the past few years, become aware of how deadly it can be. And I would say to the people out there, the best thing I could think of to help a person today is checkups. Mm-hmm. Do go to the doctor. Find out about your blood pressure, about exercise. That is one of the main things. People don't get enough exercise. They sit on the couch and they watch TV, which is good. But we've learned, and I have learned especially, the past few years, that you can sit on the couch, but you can do exercise. And I've learned to do that. And I think more and more people are becoming aware of that. And that's one of the deadly things of stroke and of heart attacks, is that we don't get enough exercise. We ride in our cars, we're in air-conditioned houses, so we don't get enough fresh air, we don't get enough of that exercise. Walking's all you have to do. I go out sometime to the mall shopping and get all my exercise walking from store to store. And then when I'm finished, I'm exhausted. But still, you should walk around the block at night after you eat. You shouldn't just sit down and watch television. So I think those are things that I have learned myself that has helped me.
Fortunately, when you're watching TV, obviously you're tuning into Fox 43, whether it's Carolina People or River Talk or Ally McBeal or shows we formerly aired, Seinfeld. I know you're a big fan. Yeah. When you think about, obviously your activities have been in radio, in print, in television. I know you hosted a show on Fox 43, Cruising the Carolinas with Hilda. You also had the involvement with WECT. You now have a very active website, www.hilda-carter.com. Do you ever write about the Heart Association, whether it's in Coast and Alternatives magazines or in any other publications?
Yeah, for years, with my column, every year I look forward to the Heart Ball. And I take my pictures and I write my stories. And I feel like that helped me be part of the association even before I was on the board. And I think that most citizens should think about this because, it could happen to you or one of your loved ones. So we have to prepare for other people, not just ourselves. We have to think about our children coming up, our grandchildren. They don't get enough exercise. I mean, they have got on the computers. I know I have a little great-granddaughter that she loves a computer. And she comes home and she gets on that computer and, where she could be out in the yard playing and running and skipping, and she doesn't do that. So we have to watch them when they're young. And overweight, that is a deadly thing for people with heart trouble. Is because that's no exercise. That shows. I have a young son, my youngest, which I call my baby. He has gotten overweight, and of course I'm on him all the time about lose weight, because that is a big problem.
Yes.
And especially when you got little children, you want to live to see them grow up.
Hilda, when we think of your community, whether it's your immediate community or the large Grand Strand community or the PD, southeastern North Carolina, or the Carolinas in general, your community involvement has stretched both states.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, a lot of viewers are familiar with you from your time on air or on radio or the website, but particularly your print columns over the years, whether it was at the Myrtle Beach Herald or the Loris Times or the North Myrtle Beach Times, now Coast and Alternatives magazines. Is there any accomplishment in particular over the last year that you're most proud of?
Well, I think the one that I have appreciated the most was the Silver Crescent Award. I didn't realize at the time when I first got the award to really what it meant. And since then, I have read things about it, and I've understood that that is really an award that, like you say, it's not given that often. And I'm just so glad to be one of the 30 that has received it. And it makes me aware that I need to do what I can for my state, or actually the county I live in, the state I live in, and into my country. That these are things that I can do to help other people.
Hilda Merritt Carter, instrumental in helping lock up the horseback ride-a-thon this year for the Heart Association, and now new board membership to the Waccamaw Division of the Heart Association. We honor you and wish you again a happy birthday last week. Hope many more years to come.
I hope so too. And I want to tell the people out there, please give to the organization, the Heart Association, because it could save somebody's life in your family.
Absolutely. Hilda Merritt Carter, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Stay tuned for more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're in Conway, South Carolina, on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're visiting at the E. Craig Wall School of Business with Charlie Brindel, the Executive President of the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors. Charlie, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. It is a great week, as you know, focused on the American Heart Association's Heart Walk for the Waccamaw Division. I think this is the 11th annual Heart Walk coming up at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion.
It is. It's going to be on the 19th of October.
19th of October. And you have been involved with the Heart Walk for a good number of years.
5 to be exact.
Golly.
Yeah.
What got you interested in being involved with the Heart Association?
Well, I was taking my annual physical in April of 1997, and I was doing my EKG because I'm over 40, and you do an EKG when you're over 40, and the doctor turned around to the nurse and said, call an ambulance. And I looked and I said, I'm not riding any ambulance up to the hospital. That's a $200 shot. I said, I'll drive myself. There was a lady doctor, and she said, not today, you won't. And then zip, I was going to Grand Strand Regional Med Center, and they operated on me almost immediately. And I was 8 weeks later, I was out playing golf. Isn't that phenomenal?
8 weeks later?
Yeah, that's because some of this heart research that the money pays for, yeah.
The Heart Association, whether it's funds raised at the Heart Walk or the Heart Ball or the Ride-a-thon or the golf tournament, those funds are reinvested back in this community and other communities nationwide.
Sure, and years ago I would have been a dead man. By the time of the afternoon, she said I probably wouldn't have lived till 5 o'clock.
Charlie, how long have you been, and I definitely want to talk more about that, how long have you been with the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors?
I've been here 17 years with this Coastal, and I had the same job up in Fayetteville, North Carolina for 7 years, right after I retired from the Army. As a matter of fact, I went to work as an exec up there. The day I retired, I went to work in my uniform.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that day. So I've been doing this about 25 years.
You were at Fort Bragg formerly?
I retired from up there.
Okay. How long were you in the Army?
32 years.
32 years.
Yeah, and you add it up, 32 and 25, that's 57 years in the workforce. You begin to wonder how old I am. I'm up there. Yeah.
You kept your youth very well. Obviously, recuperating that quickly and getting back out on the golf course sure helps.
And hell, I work out every morning, so you can rest assured that I'm going to stay in good shape.
What do you do to work out in the morning? Someone who has battled heart disease.
I work out at the Cardiac Rehab Center up at the Grand Strand Med Center Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I play racquetball on Tuesday and Thursdays.
Okay.
At 6:30 till 7:30 every day.
6:30 to 7:30 every day?
Every day. I get up about 5 o'clock. Of course, I go to bed right after Jeopardy at 8 o'clock.
Oh, God. Well, we need to keep you up a little later for Seinfeld at 10, but at least you're getting to bed early. That's great. That's great. Tell me real quick about the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors.
We're a trade association of about 1,600 people, and we have some objectives that we strive for. I'm primarily the administrative headquarters to support the realtors. We gather together. We're unified in the real estate industry to protect private property rights, and those are a couple of our objectives. We have 5 or 6 others, but we also contribute to the community.
And what counties are covered by the Coastal Carolina Association?
We work up into Brunswick County into North Carolina, and we go all the way down to the Charleston County border. So it takes in about 60 to 70 miles of the coastline.
Yeah.
And then we come inland, through Conway, Lawrence, and take all the western part of Horry County.
Does the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors have a team itself participating in the Heart Walk on the 16th?
We have, and generally speaking, we put about 20-25 teams together. And to simplify it this year, I'm going to ask each broker and his company to contribute $100. And with the 300 brokerage firms we have, that'll probably put us well over what we collected last year.
Golly, yeah. So, and again, the Heart Walk's on October 19th in the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. The goal for the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors is?
We want to get 150, 200 people out there.
Great.
Yeah.
And you just talked about some of those financial goals. Does that do you know about what you're expecting financially?
Well, we hope to do 10,000 or better to at least equal and we probably should do better. We're involved in 8 charities every year, so that's a pretty heavy burden for the member to bear, but they always come through. That makes me very proud of this organization.
Absolutely. What did you attain last year? What was the financial goal?
10,300. We came in second to the Conway Hospital, but we had a few $100s that came in later. So we were really pretty close to being on an equal with the Conway Hospital.
You'd be by far the largest non-medical group raising. There was earlier this week, Rhea Ladane was on, who had personally raised a little more than $7,000. She's obviously with the cardiac unit at Conway Hospital, which attained a little more than $13,000. And their goal this year is to beat that even stronger. Ron Engel, the chairman of the walk, was on, speaking of Coastal Carolina University's commitment to attain hopefully 10,000 and much more than that. And the goal, as you know, for the entire walk is 125,000 this year. So if the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors could bring in 10,000, that'd be spectacular.
Well, this is a very giving community, so I think we'll reach that all right.
Your involvement with the Association of Realtors, could you talk real quick exactly about your activities with the group?
Well, we provide an administrative office that supports the realtor. We do a lot of service work for the individual member to enhance their bottom line. As a result of that, the individual realtor contributes back to this community a lot of what they earn. And we promote the multiple listing system. You're probably familiar with that. They used to have an MLS book about this thick. All that's computerized now, and you can look at each home on the computer. We provide that service to them. We provide the membership service to them. We control their funds. And we just do all of the things that you would consider an administrative headquarters to do for our
Let me ask you real quick, Charlie. We have less than a minute, but I was wondering if there are any wraparound activities or any activities in particular that you or through the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors are doing to try to raise funds for the Heart Walk?
Well, I think what I've done is I've taken the packets that I've gotten from Tammy Eaves and the leadership in Dr. Engel's office. We've been to 2 or 3 breakfasts and lunch with him. What we're trying to do is develop a plan from that and reach out, and actually we're going to wrap around each company and ask them to make a contribution based on their size, but all of them should be able to come through with a $100 commitment.
That's great.
And that would probably raise more than the $10,000 we raised last year. And I didn't realize Conway had raised over 13, but I guess they finally had some money coming in also, like we did. Yeah,
absolutely.
It was nip and tuck for a while.
Charlie Brindel, this morning, Executive Vice President of the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors, 32 years as in the Army, 25 years more recently helping realtors maintain their strong points throughout communities, whether down here in the Fayetteville community, and now a commitment to fighting heart disease and stroke based off of your own personal experience. We thank you so much for your efforts and for all the realtors in the area's efforts. Pray that you all will far surpass the $10,000 goal.
Well, thank you for asking me to participate. I really enjoy it.
Very definitely. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Community.
Thank you, Charlie. Stay tuned for more Carolina People. We'll be right back. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. Today we're in Conway, South Carolina, on the campus of Coastal Carolina University. We're at the E. Craig Walls Senior School of Business. We're wrapping up an incredible week focused on the American Heart Association's 11th annual Heart Walk, which will be held on October 19th at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion. We also have a Fall Fitness Festival that will be held simultaneously with the walk. And today we have Executive Director Tammy Eaves for the Waccamaw Division in to talk with us. Tammy, thanks so much for being with us.
Great to be here, Greg.
It has been a week covered by so many folks, whether it's cardiologists or team leaders or doctors, focused on what they can do in their communities to help get out walkers, to get out volunteers to help out of the Heart Walk and the Fall Fitness Festival on the 19th of October. What are some of the ways that folks can get out there now? How can people volunteer if they haven't yet put a team together?
They can call our office, and that number is 843-626-3939.
843-626-3939. Okay.
Right. And tell us that they're interested in participating by walking, developing a team, or walking on someone else's team. Even individuals can participate, because at this late date there may be some folks that are retired, not a part of a group, and they can certainly walk on their own as an individual. But if you call us, we will meet with you, provide information for you. There's all kinds of activities you can do as a group or as an individual. And we have a lot of wraparound activities that they can do as well.
Great. What are some examples of some wraparound activities? And what exactly does wraparound mean? I mean, to someone who's just hearing that for the first time, what does that mean?
Okay. A normal version of a heart walker is someone who gets a collection envelope, they go out and they ask folks for money, whether it be friends at church, neighbors in their community, or friends that they work with. In addition, though, from just going up to somebody and saying, would you donate? I'm walking in the Heart Walk on October 19th. Just donate something to help me get sponsorships. You can do things like Villa Romana is doing a wonderful spaghetti lunch for us on September 26th, September 27th. Folks can sell tickets. You as a walker, you can sell tickets to that. The tickets are $6.50 each, and then the proceeds will benefit you and your walk team. And of course, it's a little easier to ask folks to buy a ticket to buy a spaghetti lunch rather than just saying, "Well, give me $6.50," because they get something out of it, and that's a way that encourages folks to participate. Other things that we do is we have hearts that people can sell. Some folks sell them for $1. We ask for a minimum donation of $1, and then you write your name on it and hang it up in your place of business. Those can be sold to customers as well as employees. Some folks won't sell them for $1. They say, "Hey, I need more than $1. I'm going to sell mine for 10 or 20 or something like that." That's another activity we have. We also have door prize tickets that are available, and heartstrings. Those are things that we will have all kinds of prizes that we'll give away at the walk, from the door prize tickets, everything from $100 cash to a weekend at a nice resort.
Great.
And then heartstrings, a lot of people will purchase one of those. That's a heart that we hang up at the walk. It's sold for $10 a piece, and usually folks put in memory of someone that they've lost in their family, or in honor of someone in their family that might have survived a heart attack or stroke. And we hope to have lots of those strung up at the walk, all those, a sea of heartstrings.
Let's hope so. You point out earlier in the week I heard somebody say, you know, everyone can get out and walk. Well, there are a lot of people who can't get out and walk anymore, either because they've passed away because of heart disease or stroke or any other number of maladies. And so folks are out there walking to remember that person or to help find ways to fight heart disease and stroke. It's so amazing to think about how many folks, whether it's in Horry, Georgetown County or other counties around South Carolina and North Carolina, how many folks are affected by heart disease and strokes. Do you have any idea what percentage of viewers potentially would be affected, or their families would be affected by heart disease and stroke?
In the Waccamaw area, which is Horry and Georgetown County, 41.9% of all deaths last year were due to cardiovascular disease. That's either from some type of coronary disease or a stroke. Of course, heart disease nationally is the #1 killer. 1.1 million Americans every year have a heart attack, and one death is caused every 33 seconds from a heart attack. Certainly greater than any other cause, and greater than all other causes combined. Of course, cancer is #2, but we have twice as many deaths related to heart disease than cancer.
We have less than a minute to wrap up, but a lot of folks this week have company teams. If someone doesn't have a team currently, or they just want to get out and walk individually, you said they could call the Heart Association's office directly, 626-3939, to sign up to walk, or they can possibly jump on another team. So teams for companies can have walkers from anywhere.
That's right.
Okay.
You can get folks from church, folks from civic organizations, radio stations and TV stations sometimes go on the air and say, viewers, if you'd like to participate in our team, just call us, and you can sign up to do that today. Another thing I'd like to mention is our Fall Fitness Festival. We will have health screenings that day, blood pressure screenings, cholesterol checks, glucose checks, and body fat counts. So folks, if they can't walk, have something, some illness or something they can't walk, come out and join us for the Fall Fitness Festival.
A woman who's committed almost half her life fighting heart disease and stroke through her association with the American Heart Association, who's out today helping promote, ending the week promoting the American Heart Association's 11th annual Heart Walk coming up on October 19th at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The Fall Fitness Festival out there simultaneously running. Come out and learn about ways that you can fight heart disease and stroke in your community. Stay tuned. We'll be back to End Up Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Dr. Ron Engel and all the staff here at Coastal Carolina University for allowing us to visit with volunteers of the American Heart Association focused on the American Heart Walk. Keep the date in mind, October 19, 2002.